Hey, what is going on, everybody? It is Nolan, or the Optimistic Gamer here, and welcome back to the Optimistic Survival Series. Today, we are building a villager breeder. I want to start working on a large trading hall, and we are going to need a lot of villagers for that. So I figured we might as well jump on this villager breeder, and we are going to source our villagers from the village over in that direction, but I haven't really given much thought to where I would like to build this. I have a few ideas in mind. Of course, we kind of zoned out our regions in a few episodes ago, in episode 51 if I am not mistaken, but we have our industrial area over here, and this is actually where we ended last episode, right here in the lumber yard. Really happy with how this turned out, but I don't think it would really be all that well suited for a villager breeder. I think that would be a little bit better over here, where we have a little bit more life to our little valley right here. We have our sheep farm, of course we have the barn right beneath us, our bees right over there. We even have our sniffers up here on the hill. So I think a villager breeder somewhere in this area would be very convenient for us. As for the design, it's going to be very basic, and I think we may put it right here. We have a little cave opening. Let's check down in here and see what we have. If it doesn't go too far, well, we have another opening right up there, so I'm not too concerned about plugging this hole up right here and building on top of this little nook right here on the hillside. I think that would be a great spot for it. And then we will have our villagers shipped out to our final trading hall, wherever that may be. That will be in a future episode, but very standard in terms of a villager breeder. It is going to be a farm right in the middle, and, well, in the entire thing, we will have two farmers, or at least a farmer in there to harvest those crops and share them with the other villager. We will have a small opening where baby villagers can get out, but normal villagers cannot, with some beds right through there, so the baby villagers get attracted to it. And then we will have sort of a collection chamber, if you will, of villagers when they all grow up and are ready to be sent off to the trading hall. But this is going to start, before we even bring our villagers over, it is going to start with the enclosure that the two farmers will be in. I will be using glass for this, and we may need a little bit more. I don't think we will have enough. Let me check on our sand situation. Not sure that we will have too much of that either, so we will need to make a quick trip to the desert. Of course, we could trade with some of the villagers, but I think the desert will be a little bit easier for getting the quantities of sand that we will need. And it looks like we still have some sand lingering about from our last visit to this little spot that we have actually done a pretty good number on. Fortunately for us, we have a very large desert all around us. I don't think we will be running out of sand anytime soon. I'm trying to remember what our last project was that we used all of this sand for. I think it was the storage building, but there may have been another structure that we used a bunch of glass. Oh no, it was the roof of our new storage building. That's what it was. That large half-circle roof that extends the length of that building. But I have a little over 4 stacks now, so we should be fine to head back and get this in the furnace. And while we wait for the rest of that to cook, we can grab the other resources that we are going to need for this farm. So we will want a composter for sure. We will also want a slab to place on top of that composter. If I have any, I forgot products are over here. There we go. We will get a slab. some torches so that we don't have any monsters spawning inside. That would be in lighting, if I had any, which it appears I do not. There we go, just made a bunch more. So torches, composter, of course we have our hoe so that we can till the ground. We will also need a bucket of water. We will also want a bunch of dirt so that we can fill in that hole from that cave. But with all of this, we should be good to head up now and start to fill in where this enclosure will be. So right in here, let's grab some of this dirt and we can go ahead and get rid of that torch. We'll replace one right there and just start filling in the ground from this level. We'll go ahead and extend that up for a few blocks. And we're gonna want a 13 by 13 flat space for this so that we can have the 9 by 9 farm on the inside and then the glass walls around it. So I think if I fill in this spot right here, we can go ahead and level this little part of the hill that sticks over, and that should give us enough space. We'll go ahead and remove some of this grass around here as well. We will probably have a path extend up in this direction, maybe from this path that goes up. Right here, we will bring that over to this side, and then we can have that easy access to those villagers. But for now, I think we'll be okay without it. All right, there we go. We have a nice flat space where we can have our enclosure. Let's go ahead and get our water bucket put down. But let's make sure we have enough space on each side. So we will want 4 blocks and 1 additional block. I don't want it up against the hill. It would be nice if we could preserve this hill as it is. I'm mostly concerned with leveling the front. So if we could make this work in this direction, maybe bring it this way. Oh yeah, we have plenty of space on that side, so we could probably go right here. 3, 4, 1 more over, split the difference. There we go. Have our water there and 4 blocks in every direction of that water source. And then we will just till the ground all the way around this water source. Excellent. All right, now the composter, I will put that on top of the water source here in the middle. And then on top of that, we will place a slab. We don't need any villagers jumping up on that and then falling back off and ruining the farmland or getting stuck inside of that composter. So we will do that just to keep it a little bit safer. And then we will have our glass going all the way around, but I do want this to kind of fit the aesthetic a little bit. So what I may do is grab some wood. I think we will go with spruce on this. It kind of fits our whole aesthetic, and we will place these logs on the corners to give the glass a nice border. And then we will have the glass going all the way around. And I really wish I had those connected textures from Optifine right now, but that's okay. We will have something like that, and then I think on top of the glass, a row of dark oak slabs. Yeah, I'm satisfied. I think I will want some more dark oak underneath the glass, but we will get around to that a little bit later. Of course, we will have to mob-proof this a little bit better. We don't need any zombies getting in here, although I don't think they could right now. We're kind of safe on all of those blocks, so they wouldn't be able to get in. Of course, we don't want any witches throwing potions. We definitely don't want any lightning strikes from up above, so we will have a roof on this as well. But I just wanted to have it match our overall aesthetic. I did not mean to fall in though, but that's okay because the next step, we are just gonna take out those 2 glass blocks, and that is where the baby villagers will exit. So let me grab some trapdoors. And this next part of the build, I am borrowing this design from Logical Geek Boy. I will leave a link to the villager breeder tutorial down below if you want to check it out as well. So we are going to have our trapdoor number 1 like that, and then we will have a second one right here, and that will be shut, so we can easily get in and out. Of course, the adult villagers, however, will not. The baby villagers will think that they can walk across these blocks to the beds that will be placed right here. They will pathfind, try to jump on them, and then they will fall down into this hole. We will have a stream that leads them over in this direction. When they grow up, they will be tall enough to be in another source block of water, which will lift them up and move them into the collection chamber, for lack of a better term. And the nighttime did remind me that we do need to light this up before we get too far, both for the farmland and so that we don't have monsters spawning. We will place torches on the composter as well. For the collection chamber, we're going to have this little ditch that kind of moves those villagers, and that's where a water source will be. I'm going to go with deep slate tile walls. I think it's going to look great with our kind of dark oak spruce wood look, as well as a couple other hints that we have, especially over here in the wool farm. There we go, and I think I may just end up continuing this pattern all the way around underneath the glass instead of doing any kind of wood. It sort of makes it look like it has a little bit of structure to it, so I think we will stick with those walls going all the way around, and then we will have to do a little bit of terraforming, but not a whole lot right here. I think I may have this collection chamber, once the villagers go up, rather than continuing it forward, I'll have it turn so that we will have another small module right over here somewhere. And we will do some glass right here so that we can see the farm in progress as it runs. And we will do a little more mob proofing with this later, because obviously we will have villagers right down here. As of right now, very easy access for zombies, so don't worry, we will take care of that. I just want to get the overall footprint down first. Then we will have some signs right here to control the flow of the water. I think that's correct. I hope. Yeah, okay, I did confirm. So sign right there and right there. And then when we put a block on top of this sign, say our deep slate tiles, we'll place that right there. Then when we have a water block, wait, hang on. Okay, no, I did mess that up. So this sign is 1 block above that wall, or 2 blocks above it, I should say. There we go. Now when we place water, it will just stay right on top of this block. Excellent. And we will start to build this going around in the direction that we would like it to. I realized though, this whole section is a little bit too tall. Here we go. That's what we're looking for. Actually, I am just going to verify that this is the correct size and dimensions for this. So if we place down our water bucket, is this going to flood the village? Maybe. There we go. If we place down our water bucket right here, it should fill in. Is that what we want? No, we want one more going back like this, and then we will have the front of it right here. That is what we want. Excellent. And with one more water bucket right here, now we can go ahead and demo this. So let's step in here. Let's say I'm a baby villager, I'm pathfinding to the bed, I think I can walk across, I fall down here, I move slowly down this stream. Again, still as a baby villager, I would not be tall enough to be in this water, but once I am all grown up, a villager would float to the top, of course a player would not, and then this water will move them into this corner where a collection system, i.e. a minecart, will deliver them to our trading hall. So simple enough, now we have to finish making it look nice and obviously mob proof it. So I think we will definitely stick with our pattern of spruce logs in those corners. And I'm just going to keep this deep slate tile on the bottom level going all the way around just to keep everything consistent. We will have that going all the way around. I think I will even do it for the floor as well. It works kind of as our waterproof material for this build. And then another spruce log right here, which I know is a little cluttered. I'm actually not a huge fan of that. So what I may end up doing is just extend this back by one more block, but leave these blocks as they are. And we will see if we can get away with that. So let's give this a shot and see how it looks. Well, I'm sure it'll look fine. It's more so how it functions. And then one more spruce log right there. Maybe we do one right here as well. Now, if we got rid of these blocks, this could work actually. Maybe. I would have to see how the villagers flow, but judging by the current of the water, if we stand right here, I think we're going to that corner every time, so I think we will be okay to get away with that. So let me get rid of that pillar, and we may even get rid of this one now, and just have it all open, and then fill everything in with glass. Yeah, I think this might actually end up working for us. So the slabs on top of the glass, and I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to go about mob-proofing this, having a ceiling on it that also doesn't look bad, because I do love the open concept, but we cannot risk any lightning storms and just having a bunch of witches come in and ruin everything. As for this right here, it's going to look a little funky, but we are just going to have a couple of glass blocks that kind of stick out right there. Still have the slab on top of it though. It definitely blends nicely though with our wool farm, so I'm happy about that. Definitely fits this region of our valley quite nicely. So there we go. There is our two finished modules here. And again, this is where the villagers will be collected. This actually needs to be glass because the villagers will take a little bit of damage if it is a solid block when that minecart collects them. So we will do that and then deep slate tiles underneath that glass block. There we go. That will be non-existent. This will all be non-existent soon enough, but for now, just a nice aesthetic. Actually, I just realized this doesn't have to stick out since they are coming up on... Let me just double check here. So if we go through, yeah, we're good. Okay. And we will place a few more torches on the corners of this module as well. Alright, so the ceiling. I think for this, we can just go with a very basic glass ceiling. Doesn't have to be anything too fancy. We can hardly see it from the bottom, and it will protect those villagers nicely. Now this one, I could be wrong, but I think the villagers need a certain amount of space above their heads. So this glass ceiling, to play it safe, I think we should give the villagers 4 blocks. That might be... I know it's not anything more than that. They need at least 4, maybe less, but we're not going to risk it. So we have 3 blocks right here. This would be a 4th. So if we had a ceiling on top of those blocks, that is 4 blocks in height. And again, I think we will go with a glass ceiling, but we will be stylish about it. So of course it will still go all the way around like this, but we will extend our spruce logs up a little bit, which does require us to remove those torches, so we will have to get those replaced. That won't be an issue though. And then we will fill in with glass, just like this. Again, really missing those connected textures right now. But hey, at least it isn't the old texture of glass. I guess there is something to say for that. So we have our wood in place. We have our ceiling, which of course looks a little odd at the moment, but we will get that taken care of. I think we just need some kind of border around this glass and then we will be good. So let me grab some more dark oak planks here. So I just have a variety of all different kinds of dark oak materials. The first pattern I want to try, it's very basic, but just a stair right there and a stair here. And it's just gonna frame our little opening right here. I really don't have to have this opening, but you know, we'll give the villagers a little bit of air. I think that will be good for them. Maybe it will encourage them to make villagers a little bit faster. There we go. How does that look? That's a little strange, I'm not gonna lie, but what I might also try is if we get up here on the roof, maybe extending these planks up or these logs up in the corners by one more, then maybe we can get away with this pattern. Let me try it one more time on this side, just so that we can get a good look at this. You know, I think for now, I'm just gonna go with it. I'm about 99.9% sure that I will change this at some point later on. Or maybe it will grow on me, one of the two, but for now, this is what we will go with. There we go. Not perfect, but done. So now all we have left is just getting our villagers into place. And I'm actually going to put a few more torches up on here since we have top slabs and those are spawnable blocks. And then I suppose we could just place some torches here on the inside. Can never be too careful with how many torches we place, especially dealing with a villager breeder. But now all we have left is to get our villagers into place. So I'm gonna go steal a farmer, and we may even be able to use our original mending villager since he hasn't really seen much action after we got our much cheaper mending villager over in the village. I think he's eager to get out of here. He's been in there since August. And luckily for me, I have not destroyed our little sky bridge thing yet. So it will be very easy for us to get this villager into our valley. Of course, after that, there's not really any purpose to keep that. So I will probably get rid of it once and for all. And how convenient that we have a farmer villager right up here by the exit of the village already. No, don't walk to the middle. There we go. All right, we got him in our boat, and we also got a librarian in our boat, which we do not really need. So I'll have to give that another shot. I just don't want it to be their meeting time and have him wander to the middle of the village and then go to bed. So let me give this another attempt. Hopefully I don't hit the that's not what I want, that is not what I want, that is what I want. I really don't want to hit these villagers and upset the iron golem. So let's get him in the boat. I am really struggling today. We may have to try this again. I suppose I could just grab one of these composters and move it up to the top of the village. Here we go, this seems to be working, so if we put that composter all the way up there, he will find his way up here. Let's go ahead and place our boat down right in his path, and there we go. So we should be at a high enough Y level to access our sky bridge now. We're just gonna have to break through this fence. Hopefully no villagers follow behind us. We'll go ahead and replace that, and we are good. Now for the tedious and a little bit stressful part, as the sun is probably close to setting. Oh no, we still have a little bit of time. This is definitely taking me back to some of those earlier episodes when we used this bridge all the time. And we will definitely have a much more extravagant bridge over that river right down there. And we may even extend that through so that we have a full canyon going, and there's not really a pointless bridge right next to the hillside that can easily be walked up. But again, that is all going to be way down the line. And I'm actually going to place a few more blocks right here so that we can be on the correct Y level with the farm. Of course, I can just place a bed inside and he will pathfind to it, but I don't want to be too far off. It would be nice to have the boat right up next to it. So as long as we are on this level right here, we will be okay. And perfect timing too with the sun setting. Once we put a bed in there, he should pathfind right in and be settled in. And then we will just have to get our mending villager in there, which I think we will also just do right now while it's nighttime. I guess I don't even have to put a bed in here. I can just row him right in with the boat and remove some of these glass blocks. And we have a spider jockey over there. All right, here we go. The farmer is in. We're gonna seal that up real quick before anything happens to him. And we are safe. That is number one. Let's take out this spider jockey and then get our other villager into place as well. There we go, perfect. So I'm gonna light this up a little bit more. We don't need any unexpected monster spawns around here. And we definitely have a lot of mob proofing to do over here on the hillside, that's for sure. So I'm just gonna place down a bunch of torches and then probably run away, let all of these mobs despawn, and then come back when it's safe. And we are just gonna use this bed right over here to have this villager pathfind. We will start with placing it right here. I think that will be close enough. And do we have a bed inside of here? We do not, but that's okay. He should... Come on. I know it's a stone button, but I believe that you can make it through there fast enough. Here, I'll hold it open. There you go. All right. So he will pathfind to that bed. And I'm just going to go grab a second bed just to be safe. I don't want him wandering off too far. We'll get that placed right there. And then go ahead and destroy his bed. He should locate that next one. And then we will put one more inside of the farm. Wreck this bed. And he should make his way inside. We can seal that up. And there we go. We have our two villagers in place. We do need to get some crops planted so that they can eat. And as you can see, perfect example, he cannot get through. It is wonderful. But we can, just like that. So I believe we need 5 beds in total, which we have a few extra actually, so we are good there. And some crops to plant. Carrots and potatoes, which we have plenty of right in here. Excellent. I will just go with that for now. That should be enough. Of course, they will harvest and replant those as time progresses. Let's go ahead and wreck that boat now. Very carefully. Perfect. And then get some of these potatoes and carrots planted. Oh, I just realized I have torches on this composter. I cannot plant anything when those torches are there, so I think we can get rid of those without too much of an issue. I'll place a couple more on those sides. And now all that is left are the beds. Now these have to be placed in a specific way. I think they have to be spaced apart, not touching, and we need 5 of them. So that's 3. And then I think they may register if they are this far away. Not 100% sure. We'll just see how it goes. The sun is starting to come up. I might as well get a quick sleep in before it rises completely. And we will see if these villagers get to work. I might speed up the process a little bit with some extra food. So let me go grab a few more of these carrots and potatoes, and I will just throw them a handful. And I think 26 potatoes should hopefully be enough to get the ball rolling. So let me step in here. We'll just throw those to them, and we will leave them be, observe from a distance here, and we will see what we get. Well, nothing so far. Actually, I am wondering if this farmer is registering that composter as his. I am assuming that he is. I believe they generally just go to the nearest unoccupied workstation, so I think that will be the case. Still nothing so far. They're looking at each other, and they have returned to looking at the beds. I'm not sure if there is a specific time of day when they will breed or not. I may have to read up on this, but the beds right here is where I'm a little bit concerned. So let me try moving these around. Maybe make those a little bit closer. I wonder if this will work. I might be able to place them like this. I'm just kind of trying everything at this point. We'll see if that works. I might give them a little bit of bread. Actually, I have a bunch more carrots and potatoes that I found in a chest, so we'll just stick with these. And I suppose we can just throw those to them. Let's see if they notice. There we go. All right, the librarian picked them up. And there we go, we have hearts. That is a great sign. Let's see if we get a baby villager out of this. And excellent. All right, and immediately. Okay, never mind. I couldn't remember if I put water down. Textbook, how this farm is supposed to work. That baby villager ran right to these beds, fell in the pit, I suppose is what we can call this. Once he grows up, he will be in this water. He will float to the top and land in this corner. So as soon as that happens, I will meet all of you right back here, and we will conclude the episode for this fully functional villager breeder. I actually take that back. We have one other element of this farm that we need to work on while that villager grows up, and that is the collection mechanism. So the way this works is we have a dispenser. I might just have to dig out all of this ground underneath here just to make it a little bit easier for us to work. But we will have a dispenser underneath the ground right here, full of minecarts, and then we will have a minecart rail go on this track right here, and when it goes up, if we have a minecart inside of it, it will pick up, well, hopefully pick up the villager that is inside of there. And I think it is actually this block that has to be glass. That way the rail will connect. There we go. So it will pick up that villager and send them on their way wherever we take them. So I need one more powered rail. We will have a dispenser right here that I will just do some in-ground wiring, and we will have a very simple lever right there that we can flick, and probably a hopper system as well, so we can easily load that dispenser and we can have everything covered up. And then we will have the villagers exit out of this rail and onto the trading hall. Again, not sure where we will put that, but definitely a more centralized location. So the dispenser right there, and I'm actually curious to see if we have any more villagers or if we still have just the one. No, we have two now. Excellent. They've been busy. All right, so back over here, the dispenser right here, we will load that up with minecarts and have a few more. Well, How do I want to do this? I want the lever here on the front, or a button. Okay, I think we'll go ahead and do the hoppers on the back right here. And then I'm a little worried about mobs right now. I think we're okay, but I'm gonna go ahead and sleep. A creeper explosion would be devastating, so I don't want to have anything like that. We're just gonna do a quick scan of the area. It looks like we are all clear, even in these caves up here, which is excellent. So hoppers on the back, which we can have a chest at the top feed into them. So we'll have a couple right here. I'll go around to the back side, a couple more hoppers. There we go, and then we will have a chest on top that we can fill with, or maybe a barrel. Barrels are definitely stylish as well. Nonetheless, we will fill that with minecarts as well, so we will have no shortage there. And then right here, we need a little bit of redstone wiring and some rain. And this is all just going to be experimenting, so if we have a stone button right there, and then if we just put a single redstone, is that enough to power that block? Yes. Okay, how about that? Of course, we need one more piece of redstone that will power that rail as well as soon as we hit that button, and that should do it. No, that did not power it. Okay, so what we need to do is have that redstone going like this. I think a repeater going into that rail, and then when we hit the button, nothing still. That is because that redstone is not linked up. So what is the easiest way to do this? Ah, I've got it. So if we make a redstone torch, then these rails will always be powered. If we hit that button, there we go. That works. Problem solved. And then we can go ahead and hide all of our messy work right down there. And we have a nice clean villager release system. I will even extend this rail up a few more blocks, just like that. And that will stay powered continuously versus the other way around if it were to be powered for just a short tick. So with that in place, we have our rails. Again, destination, trading hall, wherever it is. Now we can play the waiting game. I'm gonna go grab a barrel and load it up with some minecarts. We'll get that placed right there, and then we can put some minecarts in there. Of course, they are all getting drawn into those hoppers right now. I also brought a crafting table, and we are just gonna touch up this area a little bit, make it look a little bit nicer. I wish there was a better way that we could do the beds, but that is just how they are going to be. That's okay though, we will get over it. So I've made about 27 minecarts, I believe, and we will throw all of those in there. It should fill up all the hoppers, and the barrel should have a few extra. Looks like we have seven extra minecarts in there. Perfect. So we are all up and running at this point. Let me go ahead and put this cyan wool back. I did have a creeper incident right over here. That is why we have a couple of those blocks missing, but that's okay. So again, it will be very easy to deviate this path over here in this direction, and I think it would honestly be kind of fun once we have enough villagers and we can remove these beds to actually have the path go in between these two modules, the large and the small module, just to give it a little bit more of a walking experience. Of course, we're kind of turning it into a zoo at this point, but hey, they're Minecraft villagers. They don't really get a say in all of this, and we have 3 of them now. I'm just eagerly waiting for one of them to become an adult so we can test out the second half of the system. And we have our first villager, but he is suffocating in the wall, and there we go. Okay, we're okay. I will just exit up in this direction. I got a little nervous there, but it looks like everything kind of works themselves out. So, little bit of a hiccup, but I think he is just fine. And of course, if we do have that unfortunate incident where a villager dies, it's not really a huge deal for us since we kind of have an infinite supply, if you think about it. So now that he is in here, you kind of saw how he came up. Well, you didn't really see him float through the chamber because I was diving down there to try and save him. But he ends up here in the corner. When we press the button, the minecart will dispense, and there we go. Off he goes. We're just gonna leave him right here. Whatever happens to him happens. We don't really need him at this moment. So there we have it. There is our finished villager breeder. Again, I will leave a link to the original tutorial for this design down in the description if you would like to check it out. Again, it is from Logical Geek Boy. It's a very simple design, as you could tell, but I spruced it up just a little bit more to make it fit with the rest of our valley. But that is where I'm going to end the episode for today. If you enjoyed it, definitely hit the thumbs up button and make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on content as soon as I upload it. Check the description for some other important information, links, how to contact me, all of that good stuff. And with all of that being said, comment, like, subscribe, remember to stay optimistic, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Bye.